Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. It is breaking dawning now. We're yawning early in the morning, and it is the night after the night before. Well, it definitely is the night after the night before, isn't it? But Manchester United did defeat FC Pilsen by 2-1 by hook or by crook. We did it, guys. We did it. We won the game. That's what's the most important thing, guys. Absolutely. Look, you know what? I woke up this morning and I'm seeing a lot of tweets going out there in regards to our manager, in regards to, the manager this, the manager that, the tactics this, the tactics that. It's surprising to see fans already turning on the manager, to be honest with you, and these sly remarks, these premature criticisms. I mean, we need to take a step back, guys, and understand the situation. Yes, the performances haven't been great. Some of the results have been terrible. But you got to understand what football is. You got to truly understand how football works at this level. Ruben Amorim employs a high, unique system that relies on specific player profiles to function effectively. He arrived in the mid-season, inheriting a squad that isn't his squad. He doesn't know them yet as well. And these transitions take time, guys. You know what? Especially when implementing a complex tactical approach. Look, Ruben Amorim is the guy. I believe Ruben Amorim will be the guy. He's a fantastic manager. Just look at Sporting Lisbon, how they've declined since he's left the football club. We got players on the pitch walking around. We got Xerxes strolling around, of course, guys. We've got players feigning injury, of course, guys, as well, laying on their bed, of course, guys. You know what I mean? It's mad. Do you know what I mean? And all this is premature. And to be honest with you, I'm just looking forward to Sunday, and hopefully we can do something. Hopefully we put the pet thing to bed, because Ruben Amorim will do bits. Ruben Amorim is a great manager. We won yesterday, so I want to see a bit of positivity. I know that the players are not good enough. You don't need to tell me that. We know it. But you know what? We can't do nothing about it right now. We have to cope with it right now, guys. And that's the thing, of course, guys. Big up everyone who's joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you guys could do that for me. UK Rap. Stress Pills is a Genius Thumbnail title. Thank you very much, UK Rap, you absolute legend. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, my friend. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning from Stoke-on-Trent. You're all the way up north. Big up Stoke-on-Trent. I've been there a couple of times. A cold, wintry day in Stoke. I've been there, of course, guys. Big up Amir. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Amir. It is Friday, guys, so we're getting in the Friday vibe. We haven't got long to the Manchester derby. We got a couple of days, and then we're back at it, guys. There's no rest for the wicked. As a Manchester United fan, of course, guys, we can't catch a break in regards to positivity. But you know what? I'm not going to turn my back on this manager. Some people are already showing sly signs of turning the back on this manager. We have to remain calm. We have to remain calm. I will, however, criticize some of these players, because some of these players are absolutely diabolical. If it wasn't for the substitutions in the second half, we might have not won that game. And look, I want to give special praise to Rasmus Højlund coming on and absolutely taking his opportunity. You see, the notion is that Rasmus Højlund isn't a very good player. But I've always said, and I've always pointed on, if Rasmus gets the service, he's up there with the best. He's up there with the best. And his statistics prove that. His statistics prove when you get the ball to Rasmus Højlund in the box, he generally scores you a goal or two. So one thing we have to say is that he is a shining light. He's a shining light, and we have to back him. We have to support him. And you know what? Don't turn on him. Don't turn on him, because it's not going to be easy. We got a lot of problems at Man United. And the thing is, this whole system, this whole change at Man United is going to take time to be implemented correctly and effectively. Now, Ruben Amorim walked in this season midway through the season. So at the end of the day, the positive about that is that he's going to get to know a lot of these players going along the way, who the bad eggs are, who the good eggs are, etc., etc., etc. So what we have to do is remain a little bit patient. Just stick with the manager and don't over-sensationalize everything, because you're not going to get perfect performances whilst you're changing a whole philosophy, tactics, system at the football club. And this is one thing we have to understand. And it seems to me that certain people are not understanding what this means. When a manager comes into a new football club, a new environment, midway through the season, he has to implement his own tactics, and he has a unique style of football, of course, guys, which is going to take time to implement correctly, of course, guys. Højlund should start every game. Amir, he's an absolute goal man. He's a gun man. At the end of the day, you know what, people are going to say, you know what, he's not good, he's not this and that, he's not getting any balls. At the end of the day, you can have any striker out front at Manchester United, they're not going to get enough service. Now, there were a number of players last night who didn't play well. And you know what? We all know who those players are because it has happened more than one occasion. And you know what? We seem like a broken record when we're talking about these players. You know what I mean? These certain players who are not performing. Rasmus does deserve respect, Amir. He does. Absolutely. He does. Absolutely. He saved us a few times now. Hoyland's a genius striker. And give him the ball, he will score goals. People are talking about, the Bruno assist, the Ahmad assist. Did you see the Bruno assist? He had to take it out of his feet and bury it into the corner. It was a very hard chance to take. It was not a great opportunity. He made the opportunity himself, more or less. So we have to back this team. We have to back these players. Some of these players need to go. In my opinion, some of these players are just simply not good enough. Now, look, Dalot had another very, very poor game. Another one bites the dust, guys. And I've been saying it for a long time now. Another one bites the dust. Then you look at people like Bruno, was average. Apart from that pass, was pretty average, wasn't he? Another one. You know what I mean? Rashford, probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen. You know, and at the end of the day, this whole thing needs to stop at Manchester United. It needs to stop, guys. We need to grab hold of this. We need to grab hold of these players and say, you know what? If you don't want to play for this football club, you can go elsewhere, you know. You can sign for another club and you'll probably do better. Take a pay cut and go somewhere else if you don't want to perform for this football club. Because at the moment, I'm looking at certain players in that football team and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, do you know what? These guys are not serious, guys. They are not serious. And I have to be honest, guys. Some of them are not serious. But at the end of the day, guys, football is football. We won the game. I'm happy we won the game. You know what I mean? I know it doesn't sound like it, but I'm delighted we won the game, guys. I'm happy. And you know what? I can't wait to the next game. And hopefully we go on to defeat Manchester City. I really hope so. Because we need to, guys. We need to defeat Man City. You know, because we're way down in that league. We win against Man City. It closes a gap at the top, guys. It closes a gap at the top. And one thing I would say is that stay hopeful and obviously stay a lot more positive about the team, of course. What's going on, Zizou? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. You legend. Thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, at the end of the day, Zizou, you know what? Rashford needs to go. I'm tired of Rashford, if I'm being honest with you guys. I am. You know what? We are a little bit like a overly sentimental football club when it comes to these players. Obviously, it is not nice when we have to call out certain players who are not performing at the football club. It's not nice. I don't like calling out these players, but when they're not performing and they're not performing for months and months and months, it does become a time when you think to yourself, do you know what? Maybe we've got to let bygones be bygones and let these players go, of course, guys. Let these players leave. Man United have a lot of players that are on the conveyor belt or players that we are interested in the winter and in the summer. Man United need to replace a lot of these players. And Ruben Amorim can only truly effectively implement his tactics and his style of football if he's given the players he wants. And also, he's allowed to get rid of the players he wants as well. It's two things. It's a double-edged sword at the moment, guys. It's a double-edged sword. You know, he needs both. He needs to get rid of those players and bring in his own players. But can Ineos grant him his wish? Will they grant him his wish, guys? Do you think they can do that? You know, at the end of the day, like, you know what? We could sit here till the cows come home and talk about, you know what, these players are bad, these players are not good, these players are scrubs, these players are this, these players are that. But at the end of the day, if he's not given the authority to remove these players, what can we do? What can we do, guys? It's a difficult one. It's a hard one to swallow, of course, guys. It is a hard one to understand. You know, that, you know, these players can get another chance. Some of them will get another chance next season. Some of them will not be gone next season. Some of those players will still be at the football club next season, guys. I bet your bottom dollar that some of those players will be at the football club next season. And that is the scary thing, isn't it? You know, and you know what? If I see Ineos turn around and say, do you know what, Mr. Rashford, Mr. Dalot, you know what I mean, Mr. Casemiro, you're not good enough for the club now. We need to get your wage off the wage bill. You may have to leave the football club. You know what I mean? And then I would look at them and say, do you know what? They're a serious football club. They're acting like a serious football club. We are acting like a serious football club. Only then, you know, but at the moment, I don't blame Ruben Amorim for what he has to do in regards to the squad, in regards to the team selection, because at the end of the day, he doesn't know those players. It is not his squad. He wants to get to know him himself. We didn't have a pre-season. I mean, the whole point of a pre-season is getting to know your players, getting to know your best tactics, getting to know your best team. He hasn't had that. So this is basically Ruben Amorim's pre-season. And this is one thing we have to understand going forward. You know, we cannot criticize him too much. We can have our little bones about things. We can say he should do this. He should say things. He should do that. But he changed the game yesterday. He made the changes. He changed the game. We won the game. Look, people are saying it's VIKTORIA PLZEN. VIKTORIA PLZEN. VIKTORIA PLZEN have beaten Real Sociedad. Do you know Real Sociedad? Real Sociedad, who finished in the top 4 in Spain. They beat them, didn't they? They also beat Dynamo Kiev away 2-1. And they drew with Poak 2-2. We drew with Poak at home. They drew with Poak away and had 10 men. So at the end of the day, we cannot criticize too much. But what we can do is we can pick the bones at the players and say that this is again showing and highlighting, exposing these players 100%. And I hope that now Ruben Amorim is starting to see, he's starting to peep the game. He's starting to see that some of these players are just not good enough. He's going to need his own players. We know that. But at the moment, we can't do anything about it. I mean, we can do 1 or 2 deals in January, maybe. But you know what? There's not going to be much. There's not going to be much business in January. Absolutely not. I bet you there's not going to be much business in January. Most of the business will be in the summer. So by the end of the season, Ruben Amorim will have an idea who's the good players, who's the bad players. And I can't wait for it. I'm all here for it, guys. Rashford and Shaw will still be next season because of their contracts. No one's going to buy them. This is the problem, Brian. The only way that someone's going to buy Shaw staying, because no one's going to buy Shaw unless they're absolutely bonkers. But, you know, Rashford may go if we give it a reduced transfer fee. Because if we reduce his transfer fee to like 30 million, 40 million, it takes the wage off our wage bill, doesn't it? And it helps with our FFP. So what we have to do is extremely reduce his transfer fee. But then the ball falls with Marcus Rashford. The butt falls with Marcus Rashford. It's up to Marcus Rashford if he's going to leave or not. You know, it's up to him if he wants to leave or not. You know, he has the decision to make because he's in contract. He don't have to leave if he doesn't want to leave. So that's the problem. In regards to Luke Shaw's injury prone. Only a nutter would sign Luke Shaw. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Only a crazy person would sign Luke Shaw, sitting there, of course, behind the scenes and stuff like that, of course. Mount had a better game than Rashford. He did have a better game than Rashford. Look, Mount didn't have a fantastic game, but he had a better game than Rashford. You know, he missed a gilt-edged chance in the game, and it could have cost us dearly. But one thing you could say about Mason Mount when he came on, that he had a lot more running, a lot more pressing about him. And I like that about Mason Mount when he came on the pitch. He was impressive, to be honest, for parts of it. Not fantastic, not amazing, but he was impressive, guys. He was impressive. And you know what? Better than what we've had over the last few weeks. You know, I mean, I would start Mason Mount against Manchester City along with Ahmad up there. But the worry for me is the Bruno in the number 8 position. Bruno doesn't work in the 8 position, guys. Bruno doesn't work in the 8 position. I don't think he works in the 8 position because he's not defensive enough. He doesn't cover the ground enough. He doesn't cover he doesn't cover himself. He goes forward. He's all over the pitch and he leaves spaces in that midfield. So I'm a bit worried about Bruno playing as a number 8 in the midweek, of course, guys, in the midweek. So if we go down, guys, I'm going to give you the player ratings and some of the quotes from some of the players and obviously Ruben Amorim last night. If we go into that right now, let's read some of the quotes from Ruben Amorim. Okay, so Ruben Amorim was speaking, of course, yesterday after the game. He did say they fight until the end. That was important. We didn't play very well, but we didn't give up. That is the key point for me. Look, you know what? We know no one should ever give up at Man United. That is a given. This is a given. No one should give up at Man United. Should understand the football team they are playing for. You know what? And it's unfortunate that we have to remind these players who they are playing for. They're playing for the greatest team in the world, in my opinion. You know, so, it's important that we remind these players who they're playing for. It's sad, though, isn't it, that we have to. We have done a lot to improve, but we won, and we move on to the next game. Yes, everything is all about the next game now. We have to think about, we have to get our Manchester City heads on. For goodness sake, there's no rest for the wicked in football, is there? There's no rest for the wicked in football. We have to move on quickly and swiftly, and the next one comes, the next one comes, the next one comes. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know what? It's relentless. It's relentless, of course, guys. Let me say hello to my brother. Good morning, Kazi. How you doing, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. Not me, Harry. You know what I mean, Harry? Absolutely. Big up, big up. Morning, Kazi. Morning, Brian. Brian. Absolutely. Big up. Rasmus Holland is going to be the next Gookie Areas under Amir. I said this a long time ago. You get a good manager. Rasmus Holland is a fantastic striker. Rasmus Holland can put the ball into the back of the net. He rarely misses. He's a gunman. And the thing is, he's 21. He's 21, guys. And you know what? We cannot jump on Rasmus so early. You know what I mean? We cannot do this because people were calling him a fraud. They're calling him a bum. They're calling him things like that, you know, just a few weeks ago. And I was here saying he's a great striker. He needs the ball. When you get the ball to him, he will score goals. Now, the only unfortunate thing for me, when I'm watching the game yesterday, I'm not seeing enough crosses going to the box. I'm seeing a lot of dribbling. I'm not seeing enough crossing. Lots of dribbling, not enough crossing. You know, and that is a problem, of course, guys. Good morning, everyone. Of course, the legends are in the house today. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. I've got 586 people watching. Wow, we wowzers, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone who's joining me today. Thank you to Twitter sphere and the Facebook following who's joining me today, guys. My Instagram following who's joining me today. For goodness sake, thank you very, very much, guys. Hopefully, this becomes a habit and we get, you know what, people in the chat and get people involved, of course, guys. Absolutely love the community. I mean, so the pitch was hard to do connections, but the main difference was the speed we used in the second half, not so much in the first half. Look, the speed came when we made the substitutions. The substitutions were very, very important. You know, they were very important because when we brought in the substitutions, you saw the tempo suddenly go up like tenfold. The tempo went up ridiculously high, you know, and then we thought, yeah, look, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. When in the first half, it looked bleak, and part of the second half, it looked bleak. But guys, Marcus Rashford, my goodness me, crying out loud, someone please help this lad. Someone please come and have a word with this lad, because I've never seen such a diabolical performance. It was an absolute atrocious performance. And one thing is, I actually feel sorry for the lad. I shouldn't be, because he's a multi-millionaire, right? And there's a lot more worse people in the world. But in a football sense, I feel sorry for him, because I cannot fathom how he's become such a dreadful footballer. Dreadful. I mean, he's lower than Calvert-Lewin at the moment. He's lower than people like that at the moment at our football club. He's lower than, you know what I mean, Ian Dowie at his prime. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is worrying. Guys, absolutely. There was a little bit of a skirmish between Rasmus Holland and Ahmad. Ahmad, of course, was scrutinized by Rasmus Holland for not passing Rasmus the ball. Rasmus, quite rightly, had a go at Ahmad. Now, I like this, and I agree with Ruben Amram. Ahmad is young. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to make the wrong decisions. You know about young players. You know, they're notoriously inconsistent, but we don't jump on them too much. But Rasmus did have quite a harsh word to Ahmad, of course, guys. He had a big word to Ahmad to say. He had a word to say. So basically what Ruben Amram was responding to that, he said, we need to feel something. If we need to fight each other, it's like a family. When you don't care, you do nothing. When you care, you fight. Absolutely, guys. I've been saying this for months. It's only because we care. It's only because we care that we criticize you. We believe in you. And when we criticize you, we believe in you. You know what I mean? If I walked in my house, I said it many times, and my wife said to me, Sal, you're looking a bit fat, right? You're looking like you're putting on some weight. I wouldn't turn around my wife and have a go at her. I would say, really? My goodness, I better hit the gym. I better not eat that chocolate today. I better not. You know what I mean? I'll be like that. You know what I mean? You know, but some people take it personally. You have to have that discipline. Discipline's a part of life. If you cannot critique, if you cannot criticize someone, how are you going to improve? How are you going to improve? Where's the improvement going to come from? I cannot fathom. Yeah, so we basically went on to say, when you don't care, you do nothing. When you care, you fight with your brother, with your father, with your mother. It's a very good sign. And that's exactly what it is. Exactly what I'm pointing out. Whether it's your family, your friend, your best friend, your loved ones, that is what it's about, guys. It's not all roses and rainbows and unicorns and stuff like that. You know, it's not all that. You know, it's not all about that. At the end of the day. So what I would say is this, right? Stick by this, stick by the manager, and we can go from there, guys, and hopefully we'll improve. Rasmus Højlund was talking, of course, after the game as well. He did say, I think the game suited me well. I think the opponent was brave to play man-to-man, and that's where I have my qualities. Through the channels, kill the defenders with my speed and power, and get in front of the goal. Yes, exactly. And he did that yesterday to a T. Fantastic finishes, ruthless finishing from Rasmus Højlund. Really enjoyed it. You know what? Good to see. You know what? I think he's learned a lot off Ruud van Nistelrooy, in my opinion. I think he's learned a lot off Ruud van Nistelrooy. I've seen Bruno do that before with Anthony Martial. He does the chip for him. I'm strong, so I could push and spin it. Absolutely. Look, Bruno done a good pass into the box, but let's not underestimate the strength that Rasmus Højlund showed to turn and to bury that ball into the corner for the second goal. A brilliant goal. Yes, Bruno deserved the plaudits for passing into him, but the turn and the strength to hold on off the defender was absolutely perfect. Perfect, of course. I think we didn't play too direct in the first half. We needed to play over them and behind them more because there was space to run into. Yes, I agree, because they were there for the taking, in my opinion, really were. I mean, you know what? We did get in behind a couple of times, but we just didn't capitalize on it, especially with the boggy pitch I was talking about. If we won the second balls, you can play from there. Good comments from Rasmus Højlund, of course. I agree. Rasmus Højlund, my man at the match. I mean, I'm going to tell you my man of the match, of course, guys, very, very soon. But definitely good comments from him, and absolutely nice to hear him talk, of course, guys, about the game. Of course, guys. So when we look at the my ratings for the game, guys, this is my player ratings for the game. You know what? That Onana mistake. And look, there comes a time, guys, in our lives where we have to say, you know what, it's just not good enough. We cannot keep accepting these type of mistakes that could put us in extreme problems going forward. Last season, we were knocked out of the Champions League because of Onana, right? 90% of the goals that were conceded were mistakes from Onana in the Champions League, right? In particular, the game against Galatasaray, if you remember last season, he made a huge error, a couple of huge errors. Every time we would get into the game, he'll make an error, and then, you know what? That's it, guys. You know what I mean? And then he would, you know what? Say, oh, well, that's football. Oh, well, that's football. It's got to improve. He gets a 4.7 from me. Absolutely. My community have given it a 4.7. Martino's a little bit underwhelming for me again. You know what I mean? Hasn't played well recently. I would blame the injury as well, but he's got to pick it up as well. I'm a huge fan, as people know. Martinez, I said he's the best signing post Sir Alex Ferguson. Martinez. And you know what? He didn't play well yesterday. It was distinctly average yesterday. He gets a 5.9 for me, average score. De Ligt, again, highly underrated, guys. De Ligt is highly underrated. No one's talking about De Ligt, you know, about the way De Ligt is playing. But De Ligt has been absolutely phenomenal this whole season. Very consistent, you know, and hasn't put a foot wrong. Hasn't made a mistake. It's been good, solid, in a never-changing back three, you know, at the end of the day. So we have to give him his props. Even under Erik ten Hag, he was doing well, you know. But look, I want to give special praise to the man, the main man, of course, guys, Mazraoui. Mazraoui got a 7 again. Mazraoui rarely drops below a 7. He rarely drops below a 7, in my opinion. He's always brilliant. He's always on that 7, you know, and at the end of the day, and you know what? He never goes below that. And I'm absolutely honoured to have him at our football club, to have Mazraoui at our football club. He's absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. Malacia did okay. 6 I give him. He did okay, guys. Had some good runs. Obviously, still not match fit. He still looks a bit on the sort of slow side, but that will work. That will improve with fitness, in my opinion. That will improve with fitness. But you know what? Does need to improve, but it's good to have a left footer on the left wing back, of course. And you know what? Well played to Malacia to getting himself fit for Ruben Amorim and playing games, of course, guys. Delighted with that, of course. Bruno, apart from the pass to Rasmus, was absolutely shocking. Poor. Apart from that one pass he did to Rasmus, it was a good pass. That's why he gets a 5.8 and nothing lower, right? So at the end of the day, he could have got a 4.8 in my opinion. But you know what? He made that pass. He did good for that pass, and it created a goal. So we have to give him props. So an average score of 5.8, just below average score of 5.7. Casemiro didn't have his best game yesterday. Was slow, sluggish, lethargic. A 5.7 for Casemiro. Below average score from Casemiro yesterday. Did not play well. Hasn't played for a couple of games, of course. But you know what? We're going to have to start thinking about removing these players and shifting these players on. Unfortunately, with the wages, the astronomical wages that these players are on, it's going to be very difficult going forward to get rid of these players, of course, guys, to get rid of them. Dalot, what can I say, guys? What can I say about Dalot? Not good. Not good. Not a good performance. Again, I don't know what's going on with Dalot, but not tracking back, not running forward, not involved in the game, losing the ball. Weak, lethargic, slow, pedestrian, you name it. I don't know what's going on with Dalot. It's like we got a clone. We haven't got the Dalot. Because we've seen what Dalot can do. We've seen what he can do, you know. But this season, he's been probably the worst player in our squad. And I'm sorry, I have to say that. It's not that he is the worst player in our squad. He's been performing the worst in our squad, guys. Ahmad, decent game, up and down, huffed and puffed, 6.2 for me, just above average slightly. Was highly instrumental in the second goal, of course. So that is for the first goal, of course. So that's high praise for Ahmad. Ahmad, good to see him in that position, in the more attacking role, of course. I'm excited to see him in that position, but didn't really set the world alight. Didn't really give me what I was looking for in that position. Didn't really do that, in my opinion. But you know what? He's going to improve. Young lad again. Young player again, and I'm excited for Ahmad, and I'm excited to see him going forward improve as we go along. Now, Rashford, I have to say that 4.6 is extremely kind, extremely generous. 4.6, I would give him a 3.6 for me, but 4.6 is my people have spoken. They're giving him a 4.6. He was absolutely diabolical yesterday. And you know what? The less said about Marcus Rashford yesterday, the better. It's about time we let bygones be bygones and just move on from this now. We move on from this now. Look, I'm sad because at the end of the day, I don't like these players failing. I don't want any Man United player to fail. It's sad when I look at it because I want Man United players to succeed, of course, guys. Xerxes, a 5.0. For me, average. Not some nice little touches here and there, but below average score. Below average score again. Didn't do much in the game. Wasn't effective. And you know what? I don't know what to say about Xerxes, but when Ruben Amorim tells him to press, I don't know what he's doing, guys. I really don't know what he's doing when Rasmus Højlund tells him to press, when he tells him to run. You know, I really don't know what he's doing there. You know, if he's not pressing and he's not running, he's just strolling around. You know what I mean? Just taking it easy. You know, it's sad to see, to be honest with you. But you know what? Hopefully he will improve. He's still new at the football club, so hopefully he will improve going forward. Of course, guys, of course. So when we look at the substitute players for Manchester United yesterday, we have a look at the substitutes real quick. Let's have a look at this. Let me get this up. So basically, Rasmus, of course, got an 8.2, 2 goals coming on as a substitute, of course, guys. Mason Mount, a lot of running, a lot of huff and puff, a lot more composed on the ball, a lot more direct on the ball, which I enjoyed. Did miss a gilt-edged chance, which is why I'm giving him a 6.0, which is an average score. But you know what? It is, I mean, not many players got a 6 in our squad yesterday. So, you know what? I'm giving him a 6. I felt like he did all right when he came on. I felt like he ran with the ball and, you know, it did okay. And as with Anthony, I thought Anthony got a 5.9 and again, an average score. But you know what? A lot better than some of those players in that team yesterday. Came on and done some bits, you know, ran and run a lot more and was more composed, in my opinion. Did okay. Ugarte got a 6, composed. Very steady performance when he came on the pitch. Only came on after 81 minutes, of course, guys. But you know what? It was good. It was good, guys. And when I saw him play, Garnacho didn't really affect the game. Couple of things. So average score 5.9 for me. Did okay when he came on. Lots of runs, lots of creating spaces. You know what? He's just better than Rashford, isn't he? He's better than Rashford. But for me, it should be Ahmad and Mason Mount in that number 10 positions, in my opinion, guys. I don't know how you feel about that. When we look at my man in the match, guys, drum roll, please. What's the drum roll? And the man in the match, of course, is Rasmus. He is the man of the match from last night, of course, guys. I'm giving him an 8.2. 8.2 yesterday. He could have been more. It could have been more, but he was, you know what, came on and saved the game for Man United. And that's all we ask for. Our striker is a match-saving striker performance. That's what strikers do. He did what strikers do, guys. He did what strikers do. In regards to Ruben Amorim gets a 6.5, guys. You know what? Saved the game in the second half. Made the substitutions. He would have got more. It could have got more. It should have got more, maybe. But I give him a 6.5, just above average scoreline. Made some great substitutions. And Man United won the game through his substitutions. And that's all you can expect from our manager, is to make the changes at the right time when they're supposed to make the changes, of course, guys. When you know, that is what a manager does. That's why they get paid the big bucks, to make the big changes, of course, guys. To make the big changes, of course, guys. So, yeah, that is of course, very, very true. He done very well yesterday in regards to his changes. When we look at the group now, Man United move up to 5th in the Europa League group, guys. We are 5th. We are literally only 4 points away from the top position. We have 2 games left. Can Man United finish in the top 3? Can Man United finish in the top 3? We've got, obviously, Glasgow Rangers tomorrow, next time, who drew with Tottenham Hotspur. We've also got the Romanian team, Bucharest, I think we got, of course. So, you know what? Really interesting to see Man United. If we climb that league, we climb in that league. It could be interesting that Man United could actually win this league. I mean, can you imagine? Man United win the league undefeated in Europa League. I mean, it does. I mean, from what it started like, you know what I mean? It is looking a lot more promising now, isn't it? It's looking a lot more promising in this table, of course, guys. So, yeah, Man United, Rangers, good result for them. Tottenham, a bit of a bother now. They might have to play a playoff at the moment, but I still think Tottenham are getting the top 8. Look, you look at that league, you look at the teams at the top, and I look at these teams and I think, you know what? The threat for Man United, who are the threats for Man United? And I look at that and I think Frankfurt, yes, 2nd in the Bundesliga, could be a threat for Man United going forward. Athletic Bilbao, you know what? We've been knocked out by Athletic Bilbao before, as we know. We've been knocked out by them before, as we know. Of course, so we've got to be careful about them. And Spanish teams, we don't have a great record. Lazio, of course, Italian. We have quite a good record against Italian clubs. Not too worried about Lazio. Galatasaray would be a difficult game, as we know the players that they've got in that team. They're going to be difficult, and they are historically a good Europa League, UEFA Cup team, of course, guys. So that is obviously difficult. But other than that, and Tottenham, of course, Tottenham is obviously, we want to avoid Tottenham. But other than that, I don't see any threat for Man United. And you know what? We're going to have to play well. You know what? There are some quality in this team. Obviously, you don't get the Champions League teams will dropping down now, which is something, of course, which is good, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let's get through some of your comments, guys. Sorry if I've fallen all the way back. Let's go. Caesar Rashford, big up. Rasmus Hoyland, respect. Absolutely. That's a good one. Absolutely. Yeah, let's get this in. Rasmus Hoyland is going to be the next QQS. I think I read that one. Big up Amir. Big up my friend. Big up. Yes, Kenny. How you doing, my friend? Man of the match for me as well. Yep, absolutely. Rashford must seriously be sold. I agree. You know what? For his own sake, not only our sake, but for his own sake, of course. We need Onana to go to Specsavers. Onana, look, I'm getting tired of Onana mistakes, Brian. I mean, it's costing us. It's costing us a lot. It cost us against Nottingham Forest. Now it's cost us again. You know, and this needs to stop, guys. At the moment, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Is he prone to mistakes all the time? Is these mistakes going to be fixed? It's difficult, isn't it, to really, truly point your finger at how we're going to improve Onana. I don't think we can improve Onana. I think, you know what, he is, and we have to do that, of course, guys. Kazi, Mr. Entitled, not good enough Tottenham player at best. Tottenham is being generous. That is very kind, Kazi. I was saying Everton player at best. I'm comparing him to Calvert-Lewin at the moment. You know what I mean? I'm comparing him to him. You can't say he's better than Calvert-Lewin. Target 100. Can we get to 100 likes, guys? Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Yesterday, we did reach 100 likes yesterday, guys. Really, thank you, everyone who's joined me yesterday. I had 1,100 people altogether join me yesterday. Thank you so much, everyone who joined me. Especially, look, I got a lot of people on my Twitter sphere, of course, who joined me yesterday. And I know what, lots of respect to them. Very, very good outing yesterday. Very good performance from the community, of course, guys. And you know what? Thank you, everyone, for your support. I really appreciate everyone who supports me. You know what I mean? And that is what it's all about, guys. It's about support, no hate, just support. And you know what? I appreciate everyone, because I work hard on this stream. Every single day, 2 times, 3 times, sometimes 4 times a day, I'm doing streams, guys. So at the end of the day, I appreciate everyone who joins me and backs me up and supports me. That's what it's all about, guys. We support each other, of course, guys. Of course, at the end of the day, that's what it is, guys. And it's not easy to read out hundreds of messages every day. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Amir, remember Rashford sacked 3 coaches, Mourinho, Solskjaer, Ten Hag, and Louis van Gaal. Let's not forget he was at the club at Louis van Gaal. I wouldn't say he sacked Louis van Gaal, but Louis van Gaal was at the club, of course. He did town tour against Ragnick as well, of course. Almac, a few were calling Højlund a bum, but it is a fact that he wasn't worth 73 million. Wasn't lead to line. I mean, I can't say that, Almac, because he doesn't get supply. And no matter who you have in that supply line, whether it's Osman, whether it is Haaland, they're not going to score goals because they don't get supply. What is proven is that, look, guys, Rasmus Højlund has the top 5 finishing rate in Europe with balls into the box. But he has the top 5 lowest balls into the box in Europe. But he's still the top 5 in regards to his finishing statistics. So we cannot say that. He's 21. You know what I mean? He's not worth 73 million, but that's not his fault, is it? It's not his fault that is the case. That is the ownership, of course, guys. You know what I mean? You know, we shouldn't have paid that money, but I think he's going to be a fantastic striker. And you know what? As we know, Ruben Amorim is a fantastic coach, and he can work on him, and he has worked on him. It looks like the Ruud van Nistelrooy effect has come on him a little bit. Of course, guys, get the ball to Rasmus. He will score. Feed the Ras. He will score. Definitely, guys. I'm pleased with Rasmus Højlund. Man of the match. Again, a big up, guys. So Singapore, big up, Pearl. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Højlund is a great striker. Absolutely, I mean, he is. He's a great striker, and he will be proven to be, of course. Onana was doing so much better than last season, but the mistakes are creeping back into his game. As I said, Brian, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, isn't it? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. These mistakes they're gonna start propping up again, and we don't want these mistakes, guys. This is too much. We cannot. It's stressful, guys. It's anxiety. It's stressful. You know what I mean? And you know, we cannot keep doing these mistakes, guys. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. You know. Why does Onana make these silly mistakes? If Amorim thinks Onana isn't good, then he should exclude exercise buyback clause on Kova. We should not have sold Kova in the first place. Exactly what I said at the time, Almac. Exactly what I said at the time. Not only Carver, Alvaro Fernandez as well, Carreras, of course, guys, in other words. Him as well. I mean, you know what? We were waxing lyrical about Kova and Fernandez during that preseason, weren't we? And then we were absolutely shocked when they were removed from the football team. And you know what? He brought in his own guy, of course, guys. Wrong decisions, but it's just testament and an example of how badly we've been run. You know, how badly this football team has been dragged to the ground. You know what I mean? That is one thing about it. Do you know what I mean? Højlund is very sharp and a fast striker. Absolutely. When he gets the ball, of course. Walaikum salam, lines around me. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Simple. We got the build of the team around Rasmus. See that? Get the players to give in the crosses. That's it. Absolutely. You know what? I'm seeing... Look, if I was to criticize Man United, I mean, there's a lot to criticize Man United about last night. But if I was to bring in something that not many people are talking about, we're dribbling too much. And I'm not dribbling as in dribbling down your face. I'm talking about running with the ball. We dribble too much and we don't cross the ball. We do too much dribbling and we don't cross the ball. There's no substitute for a great ball into the box. It just doesn't happen nowadays, doesn't it? A great ball into the box. I mean, I miss those days when we used to cross. And every time we cross, it looks like we're dangerous. It does. It looks like we're dangerous, of course. How you doing, Lufando? How you doing, my friend? Fabrizio update. Here we go. Here we go. Fabrizio update. What's going on with Fabrizio? Let me have a look. Let's go. Let's go. Fabrizio's up all day long. We'll be on the show very soon, guys. So look out for that. You know what I mean? Look out for that. So be nice. He said, here we go soon. Here we go soon. So basically, Diego Leon, who was broke on Stretford Post, guys. Sorry, guys, to be smug, but it was broke on Stretford Post, of course. It is underway. Contract's underway. Here we go soon. So obviously, Diego Leon, the left back, could be a Manchester United player. Excited. This is a Jason Wilcox signing, of course. Jason Wilcox is spotted the player. Well played with Jason Wilcox, obviously. Only 17. A monster at his age. Looking forward to bringing him into the side, guys. Well needed. Hopefully it's in January. Hopefully we get him in January. It doesn't say the time when we're going to sign him. I heard it could either be January or the summer. So, you know what? We'll have to wait and see in regards to that. We'll have to wait and see. But you know what? Very good player, of course. Very good player. What good is it not? Onana has four great meaningless games and stats, and then stat pants in games that we need to win. It makes sense. Absolutely, mate. You need a goalkeeper who's there every day and you can rely on him on the big games. Unfortunately, we can't rely on Onana. Look, I remember years ago, right, when we played the Europa League final against Ajax under Jose Mourinho. We all remember that game when we won the Europa League. I remember Onana being in goal on that day. And I remember the first goal from Pogba, which took a wicked deflection and looped over Onana. Onana's feet were not in the correct position. His body was not in the correct position. He sacrificed himself too soon on that side, and it ended up looping over him. Even back then in 2017, I said that Onana is a weird goalkeeper, and I don't think he's actually that good, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he is young. Now, we're looking at Onana now in his late 20s, and we're looking at him and saying he should be at his peak, but he's still making these same mistakes. What's going on with Onana? What's wrong with these mistakes? What's going on? Do you know what I mean? It's got to improve, hasn't it? It really has got to improve, guys. It really does have to improve. You know, because, you know, I personally feel, big up Rasta, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I personally feel that he will be gone in the summer. Do you think that Onana will be gone in the summer? Do you think we'll get a buyback clause for Kova? Do you think we'll get a Donnarumma, the Brighton goalkeeper? There's some good goalkeepers out there, you know what I mean, that I like. Do you think we're going to get rid of Onana? It's a here we go. It's not quite a here we go. Not quite a here we go. It's a nearly here we go. It's a nearly here we go. Is it a nearly here we go? Let me refresh the page. I've got to refresh the page first. Let me refresh the page. It's a nearly here we go. Here we go coming. Here we go coming soon. Soon. Not totally done yet. Big up Lefando. No, big up yourself. Hoyland just needs service. He does need service. He does, of course. He does. And he will get it and he will score. Absolutely, he will score. Big up Amir. I mean, this business, we need to bench Onana, Rashid, and January and summer window. We need to move these players on business. We can't move them on January, Rasta. It's impossible. You know, at the moment, they're on the astronomical wages and we can't get rid of them. And that's thanks to the Murto regime, of course, and stuff like that. Absolutely. Yeah, you know, we all know about De Gea, Rasta. I said it 100 million times before we sold him that we shouldn't have sold De Gea. De Gea was a great player. Whether we need to move on or not, that's a different story in the end. But we should have kept Kova then, because Kova is a great goalkeeper, of course. Hoyland needs improvement. Service alone won't be enough. This was Victoria, not Chelsea or Bayern or one of the big clubs we are trying to compete against. Look, at the end of the day, this is Victoria Plzen, who beat Real Sociedad, who came in the top 4 in Spain. So let's not totally downplay what they did. They beat Trademarked as well. And they also drew with Poak 2-2 with 10 men. A team we couldn't be at Old Trafford, right? And they were away. So, look, he's 21 years old. He's going to learn. He's not by all means the finished product. But by God, he's got talent and he has got prospect. He's got potential at the end of the day, you know? And he will get there, of course, guys. I like you to check the teams he scored against, you know what I mean, over the last couple of years. Check the teams. Go for it. He scored against some big clubs, guys. You know what I mean? So he has got potential. He scored in the Champions League, was the Champions League top scorer until we got knocked out, of course. Of course. Absolutely. Did we beat Poak? Let me have a look. I think we did. Let me have a look. I'm not sure if we beat Poak. I can't even remember that game. It's so boring, that game, probably. Let me have a look at this. Man United results. Just going through the Man United results real quick. 3-3. Yeah, we did beat them 2-0. Yeah, you're correct, Brian. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I can't remember. I keep getting confused with both. With what's their name? Porto and Poak. Porto and Poak. I keep getting yeah, we drew a 20. That's it. Yeah, spot on. Thanks, Brian. I keep getting confused with Poak and Porto. Ruben Amra will make him a natural goal scorer. I hope so. He will, absolutely. Sal, I believe I'm simply saying we need a starter so he can grow into... Yeah, we do, Composer. I agree with you, brother. I agree. We do need another striker in there, you know, to play first team. And then obviously you rotate with Rasmus, bring Rasmus in and out. There's no substitute for great strikers and having a good squad of strikers. We need a good strong squad of strikers. We need one experienced striker. Compose for you. Who would you like to see at Man United in a striker capacity? Who would you like to see? Let me know. I mean, there's a lot of strikers I like out there. There's been a lot of strikers been rumoured to go to Man United. Pepe was another one. He's another young player, though. Scored 10 goals in 15 games for PSV this season, but he's another one. We are 7th in the Europa League. At least we qualified around 16. We're not qualified yet, Rasta. We've got a couple of games to go. It is very tight in that league. We need to beat Rangers and Bucharest, of course, guys. We need to beat them. So it's not over yet. We can come top of the group. We can come in the bottom 16. It's important that we don't finish in the bottom 16 because if we do, we have to play a playoff, 2 games. I think in spring, I think it is. We do. So, you know what, or February, something like that. So, you know what, it's better that we get in the top 8. We should, let's be honest, guys, defeat Glasgow Rangers. I know that it's a British derby, but they're not that good. Tottenham did draw with Glasgow Rangers yesterday. That's Tottenham. They're Spursy. They don't have no European pedigree like we do. So at the end of the day, I would say that, yeah, we should beat Glasgow Rangers. We should beat the other Romanian team as well. I personally feel that we will. And we may come top of the group, guys. I'm very skeptical about this group, guys, because everyone don't play everyone. I think it's a little bit unfair, this group, the way it's structured. Everyone should get a fair crack at the whip. Everyone should play everyone. That's it. And the person who comes top of the group or top of the league wins the Europa League. How about that? How about that? Why don't they do it all season? Why don't they do it all season and you know what, and have a league title? More than anything, Rasmus has got a good head on him and wants to play, win some of your fans and put the respect on his name. Big up lies around me. Absolutely, my friend. Top man. Composed view, because of people like you. Because of people like you, I respect. Yeah, I respect and I appreciate. You're the reason I'm here. You know what I mean? And you're the reason I get the energy to do this, guys. Like every single day. I go sleep midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm up in the morning, 5 in the morning, and preparing for the show, guys. So I want to say thank you, everyone who joins me every single day. You know what I mean? You're not a given. You know what I mean? Support is not a given. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Composer. Big up, Brian. Big up, Brian. I've got a great community here, guys. A great community here. Absolutely fantastic community. And hopefully Man United turn into a fantastic football club because you know what it's going to be. If Man United win the league, can you imagine one day, guys, and I'm going to bring this in. One day it happens, guys. I want to say one day it happens. Just one day this happens. Imagine we see this, guys. Imagine the delight. Imagine the community. Imagine how we'll be feeling if this happened, guys. Imagine it. Well, I don't know if we imagine what happened if this, guys, but that is another story, of course, guys. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you know, lots of things to be enthusiastic about, lots of things to be a little bit worried about. I'm worried about Sunday. Yes, I am. It'll be unnatural for me not to be worried about Sunday, especially the way we performed. If we perform like we did last night on Sunday, we will lose the game. It is quite obvious. Manchester City are in one of their worst period in the last, I say, 10, 15 years, of course. Absolutely. In the last 10, 15 years, it's been our worst performance. It's been Man City's worst performance. We can either take advantage of that and use it to our advantage, or we can crumble and get nervous and absolutely, you know what, a lamb under the floodlights, basically, and lamb to the slaughter. Man United have to go out there and say that Man City are in a bad way. Let's capitalize on this Man City. You know, let's capitalize on this Man City. And let's obviously hope that, you know what, this Man City get what they deserve after all the banter, and we send Mr. Pep Guardiola away to lick his wounds, of course, guys. And of course, he needs help. But he's not going to get help from us. He's not going to get any help from us because Man United need to be smelling blood. That's what Man United need to do on Sunday. When they're beating us 6-1, when they're beating us 6-3, when they're slapping us up at Old Trafford, they showed us no relentless. We need to go out on Sunday and show that. But if we perform like we did last night, we're not going to win the game on Sunday. We'll probably lose the game on Sunday. It's still Man City at the end of the day at Etihad. You know, so look, you know what? I hope Man United can do the business. I hope they can do, obviously, win the game. We need to win the game, guys. Big up, Brian, for the compliments, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Brian, you legend. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Goldbridge 100%. Sounds up there with Goldbridge 100%. I mean, I would love to get Goldbridge on this show, guys. I would love to get Goldbridge. I've spoken to Goldbridge a number of times. Followed him for 7 years. He's followed me for 7 years, something like that. I love to get Goldbridge. We talk a lot. Love to get him on the show. Good lad, good person. Yeah, wouldn't mind getting him on the show. You know what I mean? So one day. It's true, Sal. You're putting in the work. I'm letting people know about your channel. We spread the word. Thank you so much, Lazarami. You're absolute legend. I really appreciate you. And all you guys have been here for a long time. I'm never going to forget you people. You're never going to forget you people. You know what? As this channel grows, I'm not going to forget you. We started off with 1 or 2 people watching. Now we got 500 people watching, guys, which is great, guys. It's absolutely incredible. You know, the community is growing every single day. And I'll stay humble. I remain grounded. And I'll never change. I will never change, guys. Absolutely not. Mate, if we perform like we performed last night, we are definitely going to get crucified. Absolutely. If Man City perform like they did against Tottenham, they are definitely going to get crucified as well, just like they did against Tottenham. We have to see glass half full, guys. Let's hope that Amarin can perform another masterclass against City like he did with Sporting. Big up, Carl. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing good. Absolutely. Let's hope he can do that. He might have Manchester City's number. You never know. He's just recently played Manchester City, of course. 4-1, he won, of course, guys. So let's remember, it could happen, guys. We could go there and win, and it will surprise everyone. It's happened in the past. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done it, beating Manchester City away from home, but losing against the likes of Watford. You know, that's what happens sometimes, doesn't it, in football? You never know with football. Football is a strange sport that you can never predict at the end of the day. You know, and, you know, I hope Man United win. And you know what we have to? We can't lose, that's for certain, because you know what? Man United are in the doldrums at the moment, 13th in the Premier League title, Premier League table. Definitely not in the Premier League title, but definitely in the Premier League table, we're 13th. And Man United need to obviously start getting some points on the board, of course. I'm 50-50 of the derby, same feeling how I did when we won the final. So let's see. Absolutely, the final. No one mentions that. We beat them in the final as well. Same bunch of players, except better. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what? It could happen, guys. Of course, Garnacho has their number. He has a decent record against Man City. He does well against Man City. 1-1-5-1, United 2. Brian, yes. That's what I'm going for. Brian, absolutely love the enthusiasm, my friend. That's what we want. We don't want no pessimism. We don't need pessimism. We don't need it. We don't need the negativity. We know Wagwan with our football team. We know, you know, but one thing we have to do is try and remain upbeat. We criticize when we criticize, but you know what? The Man City game hasn't happened yet. It's 2 days away. So, you know what? It might happen. You never know. Man United might win that game. I go with that. I go with a 3-2 win for Man United. I'll be doing my match preview tomorrow, guys, for the match against Manchester City. So, you know what? Massive game. Man United have had an incredibly difficult start to the season. And this month is no different. You know, yesterday's game, we didn't learn anything, really. It was sort of a confirmation of where we are as a football team, a bit disjointed, indecisive, a little lethargic, a little bit, dare I say it, lazy sometimes. But you know what? When there's a derby, there's a derby. And it is a derby on Sunday. And it is our arch rival. So I'm going to say that Man United are going to win a game, 3-2. I'm going for a 3-2 win for Man United. That's what I'm saying. I've sacrificed myself. You know what I mean? Lambs to the slaughter. I didn't think I'd say lambs to the slaughter 3 times today. I think I've said it now. So one thing I would say is that stay positive, guys. You never know. It can change. Don't turn on the manager so soon. I've seen some people turning on the manager already. They don't really understand football if that's the case. They really don't. If you're turning against the manager now, Now, guys, you know what I mean? It's 3 weeks. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys are mad. Those people are turning against the manager. If Ruben Amorim doesn't get it right, no one's going to get it right. And we might as well just quit. At the end of the day, Ruben Amorim is a fantastic manager. And we have to be patient. Things won't always be pretty. He said it himself. It's going to be painful sometimes. Of course, it's going to be painful sometimes. But we have to ride the storm. And every storm, there's a silver lining. There's a sunshiny day just around the corner. You know, and that's what we have to remember with this club, because I know people are impatient. I know we've had 11 years of mediocrity. I know it hurts. But you know what? Why do I get up every morning and I can still, after watching that dross yesterday, I can still sit here and I can still be enthusiastic. I can still say, yes, we can do it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because I've seen it happen, you know, many, many times. I've seen it happen, you know, hundreds of times in my life, you know, watching Man United. And at the end of the day, you know what? Man City will be up for the game. They'd be buzzing for the game, you know, but they just lost to Juve. If Man United lost 2-0 to Juve, we'd be extremely, extremely disappointed. You know? Yes, FC Pilsen are not Juve, but Juve are not Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad could beat Juve. FC Pilsen beat you, but we beat you, Real Sociedad. Football's a funny thing, isn't it? You know, absolutely. How you doing, Barman? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. It's showing glimpses of his ability. Barman, love it, brother. Love it. Absolutely spot on. He's showing these little glances, these little things. I'm also seeing a personality of Ruben Amorim. I'm seeing him, like that quote yesterday about the little scuffle between Rasmus Højlund and Ahmad, when they had a little scuffle after the game. As if those don't see it, you watch it. They had an argument because Ahmad didn't pass the ball to Rasmus when he was open. And when the game finished, they argued. They carried on the argument. Ruben Amorim said that he loved that about it because it's like a family. You argue because you're honest. And when you're honest with someone, sometimes the truth hurts. The truth hurts. And what Rasmus did was truthful. Right? And just like Rasmus, if he misses a chance and Ahmed goes in on Rasmus, he's going to be truthful. And that is what it's about. We have to build these standards up. Rasmus is coming across as a very, very good leader. And I'm telling you, and a young lad on his shoulders as well. A lot is on his shoulders. It's not his fault he cost 73 million. I mean, at the end of the day. And there is a lot on his shoulders. But one thing is that what Ruben Amorim said yesterday, it resonated with me. I said, you know what? This guy is the man. This guy knows what it takes. This guy knows. Arguments are arguments. Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Peter Schmeichel used to have scuffles all the time. All the time, grabbing each other by the collars, you know, fighting. Mark Hughes as well. All the time it used to happen. Proper. You want to win. And that shows you how much they want to win. And that pleased me, in my opinion. Big up, Barman. Players are out, no more manager sackings. Absolutely. There's not going to be any more. Absolutely not. Because who are we going to get next? Who's going to be next through the door, guys? Kieran McKenna. Who are we going to get? You know, who's going to come and save Man United? Antonio Conte? You know, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, guys. We got a good manager. We got the best young manager who can potentially be at our club for 10 years, guys. We have to trust it. We have to be, I know we're going to feel pain sometimes. We may even feel pain on Sunday. Who knows? I hope not, but who knows? We may even feel pain on Sunday. But one thing we have to do is remain calm. Calm. Because I'm seeing the same culprits. And we all know who they are. Talking about Ruben Amorim, indirectly slandering him, indirectly saying that, you know what, I'm having second thoughts, you know, bruv. You know what I mean? And this is the problem. Sitting in their little tiny room together, 2-man deep. And it's starting to get a little bit annoying. People, let me tell you something. Right? Let me tell you something. Right, guys? These people want to get to the top of the mountain, but don't want to climb the mountain. And that is the bottom line with that. They want to get to the top of the mountain, but do not want to climb the mountain. They look up and they're like, nah, bruv. It's a little bit tall, bruv. I'm a little bit heavy, bruv. I can't climb, bruv. Too many burgers, bruv. You know what I mean? Like that. Man United forever, man. And we're going to get to where the promised land, and we're going to get to where we need to go. Don't worry about that. By hook or by crook, we will get there. No one feels it more than me. I've seen some fantastic Man United teams in my life, guys. I've seen the treble. I've seen 2 of the best teams in the world of Man United, you know? Absolutely. Where's the lift? The lazy. Absolutely. They're too lazy. They're too lazy to get to the top. They're too impatient to know what it takes to get to the top. They think you walk into a gym, right, with a big beer belly and you walk out with a 6-pack. This is what these guys are like. You know, this is what they're like. They think that you go in and you think, I'm going to take up boxing training, and all of a sudden you become like Joe Calzaghe in one session. It takes time. It takes time to develop, especially if you're playing a different system, a completely different team. You know, at the end of the day, and you come in at mid-season, halfway through the season. It's completely different, isn't it, guys? When you think about that. Rashford data numbered. He is, how are you doing there, First Soup? Hope you're doing well. He is slowly becoming a meme, self-destruction, zero energy, zero ambition. I think he's slowly becoming a social media influencer. Don't be surprised if Rashford one day turns around and says, I retire from football. I'm becoming a social media influencer, and he will appear on Cristiano Ronaldo's show very soon. I'm hearing that, guys. I'm hearing Cristiano Ronaldo will have Marcus Rashford on his show very soon. Heard it here first, guys. Wink, wink. You heard it here first. And he will be on Ronaldo's show. And I think that's where the future lies for Marcus Rashford, in my opinion. I think that's where it is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I think that's where he should be on the social media. I mean, maybe he's falling out of love with football. You know, that happens. He fall out of love with football. It happens all that sometimes. I mean, who was it who fell out of love with football? A famous footballer who fell out of love with football. Well, it's a very good footballer. I've forgotten. He said he fell out of football, love with football. Played for Arsenal, played for Tottenham, not Bentley. I think it was Bentley. Was it Bentley? He played for Tottenham, and he said that he fell out of love with football and wasn't interested in football anymore. It can happen. Maybe the pressure, the stress, the social media side of things, the constant barrage of abuse, maybe it takes its toll. Maybe you think, no, that's enough. Enough is enough, of course. Big up, LT. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Last night, the players are given a chance to prove they wanted to be part of the project, but instead they showed us why they need to let them go, and it's always the highest paid earners. LT, my guy, spot on, mate. Spot on. It is always the highest earners who flatter deceive, isn't it? Isn't that something? It's always the young players who perform, and it's actually the highest earners who flatter to deceive. Not Bentner, Capo's view. Not Bentner. Bentley from Tottenham. English fella. Not Bentner. Not the Danish. Uwe Rosler. It was Bentley. Bentley played for Tottenham. He once scored a goal from the halfway line against Arsenal. Almost the halfway line on the volley. He fell out of love with football. Apparently, yeah, he fell out of love with football, and yeah, he moved on and he retired. It happens. It happens. Sometimes you just fall in love and you had enough, you know. Sometimes you have enough. And that is it. And that is what life is sometimes. Sometimes you just feel like, you know, I'm tired. I've had enough of football. I'm a millionaire. I can just go and relax now. And that's the thing, isn't it? They're rich too soon, so they can do that. They can do that. They can say, look, enough is enough. I'm going to retire on my bed, and that's it. No more football. No more football. And I'm going to retire in this heat, of course. Goals for George. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. But these professional footballers, and I can't understand how difficult they make it seem to learn to or adapt to the new system. Eric Ten Hag's system was more complicated compared to Almond's. You know what? It's in theory, goals for George. It shouldn't matter what system they play, because when we're looking at the games they're playing against the likes of Nottingham Forest. You know, they shouldn't really be concerned about the system. They should be able to defeat Nottingham Forest. It's just the fact that some of these players are going to whine about anything. They're going to blame anything they can possibly blame for their lackluster performances. You know, and that's what they've been doing for years, some of them. Some of them are decades. Some of them are doing this, been doing this rubbish for a decade, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, you know what? You're absolutely right. You know, tactics shouldn't matter. They shouldn't really. Eric Ten Hag tactics, Ruben Amorim tactics, Rangnick tactics. It shouldn't really matter. They should be good enough to beat some of these teams that they're playing against. You know? Unfortunately, some of these players just don't have the desire or mentality, or they're not fit enough. There's a number of things. I mean, we can only speculate on what's going on with some of these players. You know, we can only speculate what's wrong with these players. But you know what? What we judge people as what we see with our own eyes. And you know what? Whatever's happening behind the scenes, we're not a charity at Man United. You know, we're not a sentimental club, a nostalgia club. We are Manchester United, and we should be winning football matches. That's it. Simple as that. Whether you had a bad day, whether you woke up on the wrong side of bed, whether you broke up with your girlfriend, I don't care. We care about Man United. That's what we care about at the end of the day. And that's how it should be. You know, and these players should understand that. Do your job. Do your job. Just like Roy Keane said, the postman doesn't get congratulated for putting letters through the post. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. And that's what it is. Do your job and let the rest take care of itself. I guarantee you that when you are successful on a football pitch, there'll be a lot more positivity spreading your way, guys, because Man United fans, we know our stuff. We praise people when they deserve to be praised. We criticize people when they deserve to be criticized. Do your job and you will be praised. Stop walking around the pitch, standing still on the ball, hesitating to pass the ball, anxiety, indecision. We got to stop all that business, guys. We really do. Guys, been a fantastic show. Thank you, everyone who's joined me this morning. Please don't forget I'll be back later on today for Chatterbox, hopefully. And I appreciate every single one of you for joining me today. And guys who are new, please don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you could do that for me, please. I'm on my way to 6,000 subscribers, guys. Let's get it in. Let's get to 6,000. And then eventually the goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers, guys. We can do it. We can challenge the powers that be. Big up, Brian, you legend. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you later on, of course, guys. God willing, I'll see you later on. And look, we move on to Man City, and whatever will happen, will happen. We don't know yet, do we? We might even win handsomely. We hope so, don't we? Take it easy, guys. Have a great day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Peace.